G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is a super exciting one. We finally had our first stacked duos tournament. EU Dreamhack did not disappoint. We had huge names like Mongraal Mitro, Letshe not even qualifying into the finals, while we had big names like Benjy and Savage pulling off huge clutches to secure a really solid placement. And wait till you see how they did it. It was such an exciting last game for them. Also though, we have another duos tournament that was just announced in NA East and NA West. It has a massive prize pool, one of the best formats I've ever seen, and no one's really talking about it. Anyone's able to play it, you just have to know it's coming. But I want to keep you guys up to date, because if you play the format in this tournament, you could potentially win your first earnings possible. This tournament looks really exciting. If they go with this format going forward, it could be game changing for Fortnite competitive. Super quickly, before I get into today's video, I have such an exciting announcement. If you make Fortnite montages and you want some more recognition, you want a shout out, this is your chance. Every single Tuesday on my stream, I'm going to be reacting to, for about a couple hours, your guys' Fortnite montages. I'm not only going to show them on my stream, where I stream to an average of about 2,000 viewers, I'm also going to be posting the best ones as a weekly YouTube series. So if you want to be involved in that, it's really simple. The link will be in the description down below. Just submit your montage, I'll watch it, and then hopefully it'll make the YouTube video. I also want to give you some advice and just have some fun with it. I really want to bring my YouTube community and my Twitch community together. So if you want to come watch me watch these, it's twitch.tv/Aussie Antics. I stream there every single day. Now let's jump into today's video. So obviously we had EU Dreamhack. It was insane. First off, we have to talk about the big names that didn't even make it to the finals. We had Mongraal and Mitro, and there's not really a reason why this happened. People are like, what happened? What went wrong? What was it? They're 50-50ing Stark, and honestly, with the way semifinals works right now with the Dreamhack format, even with a big 17 elimination win, they still weren't even close. They didn't even make top 100, so something went wrong there, and I think it honestly was just that 50-50 for Stark Industries. It really doesn't make the best team come out on top, and clearly what worked in trios for them, because they performed so insanely well, didn't work in duos. I don't think they're going to split up as a team. When they did get away from spawn, their mid games and their end games looked super solid. I think it was just an issue of them not winning Stark enough times. The other big name that didn't qualify was Letshe, and this one's a bit more interesting because he made a few tweets during the Opens tournament saying that he really regrets switching to Exponential and he can't wait till he goes back to Linear because things just weren't working. Seems like he was getting a little bit tilted and just not having a good time with it. This ended up translating into semis and he didn't make finals. However, the main thing here was the fact that XL Esports actually threw some massive shade at Letshe. They made fun of his new announcement with G2 Esports, and I'll show you the clip. It was pretty funny.
You want to know something about me? I shit on...
Now, Letshe and G2 Esports actually took this in stride. They handled it really well, and it was good fun to see. It was funny to see a bit of banter, someone flaming, but not taking it too personally. It was good to see, and honestly, if Letshe goes back to Linear, goes back to his old form, you know he's going to dominate in any duos tournament coming up. It could have just been Exponential, which is really interesting because a lot of pros are switching to Exponential and giving up on Linear, kind of saying that Exponential is a bit better right now for hitting 200 pumps and just better in general when SMG and close range spray meta isn't really as strong right now. So interesting to see whether Letshe going back to Linear will have a big impact, because he was one of the main pros that really pushed a lot of new players who were on controller to go to Exponential, because he's been such a big fan and push for Linear recently. So interesting to see that though. The fan favorite duo of Benjy Fishy and Mr. Savage didn't win the tournament, but they had a really, really strong finish. They ended up finishing up in 3rd place, and it was all due to an insane endgame clutch. They played really solidly throughout the whole tournament. They were hanging around that top 10, usually around the 8th mark, but in the last game, things really clicked, and honestly, the main recipe for their success here was their aggressive mid game. I was actually watching it live on Benjy Fishy's Twitch channel, and chat was getting a little bit confused. They were playing overly aggressive. It looks like they're just trying to find kills when they're not there, but honestly, this was the best you could see Benjy and Savage at. They were just going up on walls, playing super aggressive, owning the whole lobby, and it turned into a 12 elimination win that ended up clutching them the 3rd place. Let me show you the end game, because man, as always, they got super hyped.
Yeah. Thing layer, 2v2.
Yeah.
Goal is 1 HP.
These 4 minis. I'm gonna go out in front. I'm gonna go out in front of them. Dead 180.
Nice. Let's go. He's got a mine pick. Push him. He's gonna die.
Let's go! Let's go! Give me that shit! Fucking go! Let's fucking go! Holy shit!
Now, we have to talk about our first place team as well, because Vadeal and Noahreyli ended up winning on 352 points. They had almost 50 points clear on 2nd place, and this is not only important just because of how dominant they were, but Noahreyli was supposed to be Aqua's duo mate, but obviously with Aqua's ban in the trio FNCS, he hasn't been able to play these first few tournaments, so it looks like Noahreyli's replaced him, and they just smashed out the first major stacked duos tournament. I can't really see Noahreyli now splitting with them to go play with Aqua when they're performing so well. So this could put Aqua in a really awkward situation, and just it's made his ban even worse. Just all over a few tweets, he has now not been able to play trio FNCS grand finals, and his insane duo mate maybe have moved on and found a new team. So looking ridiculous. That was $12,000 each that Noahreyli and Vadeal won. Now, we need to talk about this new 1% duos tournament that just got announced in NA East and NA West. That's going to be happening on the 17th of November. No one's really talking about it, and I know the prize pool isn't too insane. It's going to be $5,000 for 1st place, $2,500 for 2nd, $1,250 for 3rd, $800 for 4th, and $450 for 5th. But the main reason why I want to talk about this is the point format. It is 42 points for 1st place, and eliminations are only worth 1. So it's 42 points. So it's 42 eliminations for a win. That is the most stacked placement to elimination threshold we have ever seen. And this is for a duos tournament that has a double round format. So we're going to see whether this placement format will actually lead to stacked lobbies even in opens tournaments. Because if it does, this would be a really, really good sign for the duos format going forward, being more placement heavy. This is the kind of tournament we've asked for so many times. Not tournaments where like a win is worth 15 and 2nd is worth nothing. Just a genuinely massive placement format. You start getting placement points at 45th to 50th. So you get a placement point just for going into the game. Remember, this is duos. So just by going into the game, you've equaled 1 elimination. If you survive until like top 20, you've already got 14 points. You have 14 eliminations worth of points just for out surviving 30 other teams. That's ridiculous. And this is a 2-round tournament, so you have to think how insanely stacked the 2nd round is going to be. So in case you're looking to participate in this, again, just it's only going to be on NA East and NA West, which is a little bit weird, but obviously it's been put on by the org 1%, so more interested in North America by the looks of it. It's going to be a duos tournament. It does mean it's going to be region locked, as it's through Fortnite. It's not Dreamhack, so I believe the region locking is still in place, but it's going to be super exciting. It looks like anyone can play in it. It's going to be on November 17th. Round 1 and round 2 are going to happen after each other, and this round 2 is going to be so insanely stacked. As far as strategy for this tournament, if you're going to be playing it, it looks like because it is so heavy placement based, try to go for a really safe drop. I'm talking like safe as safe can be. You really don't need the loadout to win any fights if you know how to rotate and you can land super safe. Because honestly, if you can get like a top 5 consistently, or even potentially top 10 with no eliminations, you'll probably still make it into the top 1% to make it onto round 2. So it's going to be a really good chance for people to make a name for themselves and place in their first tournament if they're not as aggressive and if they're not as good at fighting. Also though, at the same time, if you go a decent aggressive drop and get some good loot, you're probably going to be able to clutch up those wins a little bit more, but the points don't really get that insanely heavy towards the win. You still get what, 30 points, 29 points for getting top 5 out of 42. That is still ridiculously good. So I'd be playing heavy placement and landing safe for sure. This is also super exciting because it means we're getting another third-party tournament, and instead of being in a content creator's name like you had the Aqua, you had the Booger Cup, this is now in an org's name. This is opening up massive potential and massive possibilities for a lot of these third-party tournaments to come back. And like I've talked about, it looks like we're going to have a bit of a break until the next FNCS. There's probably, I don't know if we're going to get a Winter Royale this year. I hope we do, but in this break, if we can get a lot of these third-party tournaments, it would really make things feel a lot better and could be a bit more exciting because this is a nice little change. It's nothing crazy like a Wild Wednesday. It's not a Marvel tournament. It's not a pickaxe tournament. It's a regular Fortnite tournament with a way different format, a really placement heavy one. So I'm all for it. I'm super excited. All right, guys, that does it for another video. Remember, if you want to participate in Tage Tuesday, check out the link in the description. Please submit your montages. I'd love to shout you out and give you a hand with your content. Thank you so much for all the support you guys always give me. We are so close to 100K. And for the big 100K, I'm going to be releasing my setup tour. It is going to be insane. You finally get to see what my setup looks like, how all my stuff works, the lights, literally everything. So if you made it this far, please chuck a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.